Have you ever wondered why you never feel wealthy? You might have ticked off your financial goals, bought the fancy car, bought the watch, bought the designer stuff, but for some reason, you just don't feel safe. You don't feel like you ever have enough money. This is the biggest curse that holds so many business owners and entrepreneurs back from truly enjoying their life. In this video, I'm going to run you through 5 big shifts that I made to reprogram my mind to feel safe and allow me to build my wealth every day, 365 days a year. My name is Phil Graham. I'm the founder of Fitness Entrepreneur. It's an internet lifestyle business that does millions in profit every single year, and most importantly, allows me to live life on my own terms. This channel is dedicated to high-performing entrepreneurs that want to get out of the rat race and that want to free themselves from all the limiting beliefs around making money, not feeling good enough, not feeling validated, and essentially not feeling wealthy. I'm going to share the biggest lessons in my journey with you so that you can unlock your life and most importantly, live it on your terms. Lesson number 1 is realizing that money is an intensifier. Let me explain. Have you ever heard the saying, money only makes you more of what you already are? So if you're already feeling insecure, you don't feel liked, you don't feel respected, you don't feel loved, you were the lonely kid in the playground, you never had any friends, you were bullied whenever you were younger, you were in a difficult relationship, you had parental issues, your mum didn't treat you right, your dad didn't treat you right, and you felt lonely, and you were always needing validation to feel safe. Add £1 million, €1 million, $1 million to the mix, and you amplify that insecurity. What happens is that you end up realizing that you can afford a new lifestyle. And the lifestyle changes, but you don't. Your default setting is to seek out validation and to seek out security by things outside of yourself. And when you add $1 million to the mix, then you start spending money on things that cost more to fit into the people that suit your new lifestyle. And the challenge with that is that even though you've made an extra $1 million, your heart's scared of losing it because you don't want to go back to who you were. You don't want to go back to your previous circumstances. But the challenge is, in order to grow that $1 million, you actually have to start spending it, whether it's to grow your business or whether it's to actually fit in and accommodate the lifestyle changes of hanging around with more successful people. Because if you're making $1 million, chances are you're actually doing some big, bold things in the world that are going to attract the attention of successful people. And in order to fit in with those people, you have to be able to match their lifestyle to a degree. So when the thought of losing $1 million keeps you awake at night, then it disrupts your decision making, and every decision that you make is made out of fear. And the reality is, if you haven't dealt with the past versions of yourself, as in made peace with them, find meaning in them, and how you're always going to be safe and loved, then you're constantly going to be driven by fear. And that is going to feel horrible, and you're also going to see that play out in your business decisions and your personal life decisions. Let me give you an example. Even though you make $1 million and you have it in your bank account, you feel broke constantly. You constantly scrimp on things. You don't like investing or letting go of that money to pay for a team, to pay for experiences, because your heart's scared of losing it. And the reality is you pass through life not enjoying the thing that you've created or the money that you've built up, which is there to be enjoyed. And here's the big realization. It's more important to deal with your relationship with money before you start making money, or at least when you start making money, that you're proactive in resolving the issues and drama that you've had in your older life when you were younger that you haven't yet resolved in order to unlock the future flow of money. So here's a really simple exercise for all of you to do. Close your eyes. Go back in time and think when you were the most broke, when you had no money. And I want you to just imagine for a moment that you're making yourself known who you are right now to the older self. What would you say to that younger version of yourself? And what would the younger version of yourself say to the current version of yourself? You'll find that the conversation will go like this. Your older self, who you are right now, will say, hey, I am you. I've got everything you ever wanted. Trust in yourself, go after it. You can do this. You're amazing. The younger self is going to go, you're everything I want to become. I would love to be you. Your older self is going to say, I love you, I respect you, I want to come with you. And I want you to imagine those two having a healthy dialogue, communicating and supporting each other. And then at one moment, before you guys leave each other, imagine hugging each other right before the moment where you leave. And in that moment, what is the one thing that you would say to each other? You'll say, I love you, I trust you, and I want you to imagine the two souls fusing together as you hug. Integrate your older self with your future self and bring them together. Time is an illusion, it's a construct, and the reality is your whole system has been hotwired by the challenges, the lack of awareness, the lack of growth that your younger self was experiencing. And that is calling the shots in your decision making and your world. So find peace with your older self and realize that you had all these skills, potential inside you all along. And I can guarantee you, if you were to skip 10 years from now and have a conversation with your future self there to who you are now, it's going to be exactly the same. You can do that to any event in your life. So please ensure that you deal with your relationship and fear of making money and holding money before you start pushing for more money, because you will never feel safe, you will never feel rich, you will never feel wealthy if you don't love yourself. Number 2 is to drop the idea of being rich. If your sole goal is to be rich, it is not a worthy mission. Please don't just focus on making money. Success is multi-dimensional, not one-dimensional. How do I know that? Look at the amount of people that you know that have money that are unhealthy, that are dickheads, that are not nice people to be around, that don't have a family, that are quite frankly just miserable in every other area of your life. Making money is not hard. And when you over-exaggerate the importance of making money at everything else, you then end up miserable and alone, and you end up trying to spend money to compensate and bring those areas back up. So keep in mind that being rich is not a worthy mission. It is not a worthy goal. It will be part of your goals, but it should not be the whole thing. I remember whenever I made my first million, and it was the most important thing to me. And when I hit that number, I got there and I realized, is that it? It was boring, it was dull, and the next thing that I was worried about was 2 million. But I'd forgotten about key things along the way because I'd been so focused on getting to that number. And the reality is, at that number, I could afford to do generally whatever I really wanted to. And I had an amazing lifestyle. So know the difference between what you want and what you need, and realize that you control that expectation. Number 3, stop getting distracted in your quest to build wealth. The most important thing that you need to focus on is identifying your skill set, strengthening that skill set, and using that skill set to generate cash. I see so many entrepreneurs that are in the startup phase or the accumulation phase of actually starting to get momentum, getting sidetracked by, how do I create another passive revenue stream? How do I invest in this? Guys, I have invested in property, commercial and residential, stocks and shares, private equity, cryptocurrency. I have done it all. Nothing, and I mean nothing, has returned like investing in myself, investing in my skill set, but more importantly, investing in the infrastructure around my skill set to allow me to impact one-to-many and not just one-to-one. That includes the team, the skills of my team, software, and everything else that allows a business to function. So don't get distracted by going for low yield investments. The highest ROI is you, your skills, and the infrastructure that you build around your skills, the team, software, and everything else that makes a business come to life. Number 4 is get comfortable spending money. Money loves to flow. It doesn't like to sit. It sits like stagnant pool water. It erodes with inflation. It erodes its utility over time. Don't let your money sit. Put it to good use. I'm not saying that you shouldn't save. I'm saying that you shouldn't be afraid to spend. I spend money on things with the following criteria. 1, does it lift my state? I buy nice things to feel better about myself. So if I like a great car, if I like a piece of designer clothing, if I like something for my house, these are things that get me excited, that lift me up. I don't place all of my identity and importance on them. They just complement my life. They make me feel better. I enjoy looking at them. Don't be afraid to spend money on things that you truly enjoy, and make sure that those things are there to please you. Number 2, I pay for speed. Prime example, when I'm going on holiday, I always get fast track. Why? Because I don't like hanging around. I like getting to where I need to go as fast as possible. When it comes to getting jobs or tasks done, instead of me doing it, I'll pay a specialist to do it because they'll do it way better than me. Number 3, in addition to that, I'll openly pay to upgrade my skills. If I need to speak to a mentor and I need to absorb their wisdom, absorb their energy, I will happily pay for that because it's like a software upgrade. Just like you would update your Mac with a software upgrade, that's just like going and speaking to a mentor who has been ahead of you, done the things that you want to do, and is able to give you the tools, the strategy, and the insights and the wisdom to do it faster. So upgrade your software. Think of yourself like Neo in the Matrix when he plugs himself in so that he can upgrade his awareness and everything that he sees. And the last thing when it comes to spending money is I want to pay for things that de-risk me. So I'll pay for things that de-risk my health. I'll pay for things that de-risk loss, insurance, and other bits and pieces. Those are the lenses that I spend money with. And number 5 is investing in things that are going to make you happy and not other people happy. I was speaking with one of my best friends the other day, and he was having a big challenge around moving house. He has 2 houses that he's looking at. One is in a really wealthy, rich, expensive area in Northern Ireland, the country that I live in. The other one is a little bit more out. My friend's going through this dilemma of, I really love the area and status associated with X and Y. The neighbors are good, they're high quality, but it doesn't have enough space for me and my family. On the other hand, the house that was further out has got more than enough space. It's got countryside beside it, but it's not in an area that's likely to appreciate as much as the area that he was looking at that's more expensive, nor is it associated with the status. Here's exactly what I said to him. I said to him, what does your family need? They need space, they need privacy, they need a home that they can grow into and spend the rest of their lives enjoying. And I said, if we look at that house in that expensive area, can you see yourself living there permanently and being happy? Kind of. We then did the same with the second house, and he said, I could see myself living there. I could see myself growing into it. I could see myself extending into it, and I could see myself building my own private little empire. And I said, why aren't you going for it? He just says, the pull of the other house and the area is really what's pulling me. I want other people to know that I'm successful. And I said, that is where you're going wrong. And here's the important lesson. When people see you having nice things, nice house, nice area, nice car, nice watch, nice handbag, nice clothes, whatever it is, they look at those symbols and for just a moment they realize that person's doing okay, but they never do anything with that. What they do is they actually look at the thing that you have and go, I wonder what it would be like for me to live in that area, in that house. I wonder what it would be like for me to have that car, to have that watch on my wrist, to have that handbag, and what would my friends say? They don't focus on you for any more than a microsecond. And is it worth putting yourself at risk? Is it worth going to the expense and stress of buying something to increase somebody that you don't know that well or like that much to just make a microsecond impression? My answer would be no. Save your money, buy the stuff that you need, buy the stuff that's going to make you and the small number of people in your life, that's you, your partner, your family, happy. That is really successful wealth building decision making compared to buying things to impress people that don't like you, that don't care about you for any more than a microsecond. That will erode your wealth. And I've made the mistake of doing that before in my early years, buying clothes, buying jewelry, buying cars, buying things to impress other people, and it got me nowhere. Don't do it. Save your money, put it back into you and your family. Those are the 5 lessons that I have learned that have really reprogrammed my mind to generate consistent cash flow, build amazing wealth, and most importantly, live life on my terms. If you love the game of business, navigating the challenges of life, and most importantly, are dedicated to building a life on your terms, click subscribe, click like, so you can stay updated with all of my weekly updates on YouTube. Don't miss a single one of them, because there could be one piece of insight that radically changes your life and your business. I'd love to know what your biggest takeaway is. Comment below. I reply to all of my comments. Until the next episode, see you soon.